2 weeks ago, we revealed the golden sample of our soon to launch Firo Levo travel backpack. And in that video, you guys like blew my mind with your awesome feedback, but also a lot of really crucial questions that the video didn't answer. And today I'm gonna respond to some of the really important ones so you can get a better understanding of, the key features of the Levo travel backpack and if it's a good fit for you. And just a reminder, if you want like a deeper behind the scenes look as to what's happening in Firo, and you want early access to the pre-order for the Levo travel backpack and the set of Sling, you're gonna wanna sign up to the newsletter because you're gonna get first access to the deal and a tasty discount. Now let's get to it. First question from Chris Johnson, asking if there's any way to manage the straps. And of course there is, dude. Now we didn't implement like an actual stowage system you might see on some travel bags where you can take the strap, unclip it, and then like slide it under a sleeve. But what we did was made sure that our luggage pass-through holder can accommodate this. Again, this whole bag is about simplicity, right? So instead of adding a new feature with more weight, this is a super simple solution that allows you to manage that excess dangle without anything unnecessarily weighing you down. And I don't think anybody will even care, but just in case you're wondering if it can fit also on the suitcase handle in this mode, it absolutely can. Next question is a boat ton of questions about the mystery color. It's gonna be the first non-black release we do on Firo. I cannot wait, but I also can't say what that color is just yet. And this is like a test run for us. We've never done colors, so we only ordered like a super limited amount. So if this does well, we'll do more colors in the future, but for right now, there's only a couple hundred colored bags. I think y'all are gonna dig the color. As always, keep guessing the colors in the comments below if you want, but insiders will find out the color first. All right, so we got a lot of questions too about how we handled a problem that we had in development. Not a problem, let's just say a challenge, where we're trying to create a tech pocket up here without creating an entirely new tech compartment in the bag, which is a lot more challenging than it sounds. So on the first prototype, we tried Velcro, but it just didn't look the part. Second, we tried magnets, which I was stoked about, but they didn't work. Not a strong enough of a connection. So then what we did was we actually went back to Velcro, but we hid it in a super flush and sexy way. You can see right here we have this panel of lining, and then underneath that is actually where the Velcro is. But you're never gonna know that. And now this is the best of all worlds as to where we're able to give you probably my favorite feature of the bag, this top tech pocket or quick access pocket or dump pocket, whatever you want the pocket to be, but in a way that didn't require us to make an entire tech compartment here. You can see this is actually that pocket, therefore cutting on weight and giving you more packing room for those trips that you bring where you don't need your laptop. This is probably the thing that I'm most excited about with the bag, just the way this whole design and execution came together. And I never thought that Velcro would work on a premium bag, but honestly, with the way that it was executed, it's lush, it's functional, and the Bag Me development team, just shout out to them, they absolutely crushed it. Okay, really important question. Cheeseball Quartet wants to know what these two pockets are sized for. And I got a few questions about that, and I talked to our development team, and we decided actually that we're gonna make these two smaller pockets into one larger pocket. So we're actually going to be removing this seam. And then this pocket is the perfect size for your passport, wallet, boarding pass, all that good stuff. So thank you to everyone for your feedback. We literally made that change because of the comments. Here at Firo, we're always actively listening. We are a true community-led brand. And it doesn't mean that we can implement all changes, but when we get a comment like that, we try to move on it as fast as we can. So thank you again. Next question from Rock Orso is asking if we're going to be doing an ultralight packing cube and other accessories to partner with the Levo. Yes. So we're gonna be offering an optional hip belt for the travel backpack. And the reason we're making it optional is that just a lot of people don't use hip belts. We don't wanna make you pay for something you're not gonna use. And we are launching ultralight packing cubes as well. All right, next, Shep Boston asked a lot of questions, but one really good one that he asked is whether the front compartment stops here or goes down all the way. The answer is it extends all the way to the bottom of the bag. And this is ideal because instead of just having a bit of organization space at the top of this front compartment, this is the perfect spot for you to shove maybe not your big bits of gear, but for me hoodie all day going at the bottom of this pocket, or a packable day pack because you also want that kind of quickly accessible. And no, we don't have a packable day pack, but we will soon because I wanna make one so bad. I got some really cool ideas for a packable day pack. If you have any suggestions for a Fyro packable day pack, let me know in the comments below. All right, next up from Maiko333, how wide are the shoulder straps? On the 36 liter, we're looking at a width of around 2.5 inches. And same on the 30 liter. So no matter if you get the smaller size travel bag or the larger, they're gonna be chunky and super well padded. This is the most comfortable travel backpack in the world. I feel very confident saying that. It was the #1 priority. It's gotta be. What's the point of having a travel backpack? It's uncomfy to wear, right? Can you please make the 30 liter around 1 pound? Thank you, Marcus Samuelson, for your question. Unfortunately, that's gonna be impossible. And that doesn't mean that you can't get a bag this size to be 1 pound, but you're gonna have to sacrifice a lot of things because so much of the weight of this bag is coming from the padded shoulder straps and the back panel. So that means if you want a 1 pound, 30 liter bag, like, it's totally doable, but you're just not gonna get this comfort. And actually, that's my idea for the Fyro compressible day pack that we'll do at some point, where it's going to be extremely lightweight, but it's not gonna be 30 liters, probably closer to like 18 to 20 liters. But we're a ways away from that. Let's stay on topic. Next question. From Fixtery, does this backpack have lockable ring zippers? On the main compartment, absolutely. You can see we've got 2 steel O-rings, 1 on each zipper, so you can go ahead and pop a lock on there to keep your main compartment extra secure. Next up, from a number of games, will it be available on the EU market? Absolutely. We have actually recently switched our warehouse, and this new warehouse has been great because they give us so much better rates for international shipping. When we first launched T22, I'm not gonna lie, like, shipping from the US to outside of the US, it was pricey. But now that cost has come down a lot, including the EU market. There's still gonna be some select countries that we can't ship to, but I'd say like 90% we're good to go. All right, next question is asking if the 30 liter can fit a 17-inch laptop like the 36 liter can. Absolutely. Now keep in mind that all 17-inch laptops have different dimensions, but our 17-inch Levo laptop from Asus fits very nice, very snug. I can't believe I missed this one. It's the #1 question we got is, what are the dimensions of both bags?
Come on, Eric.
I know, seriously. All right, I'm gonna read them out. So for the 30 liter, we got 18.5 inches height, 13 inches width, and 7.5 inches depth. And for the 36 liter, we got 20.5 inches height, 13 inches width, and 8.25 inches depth. These dimensions were chosen uber specifically to make sure they fit on carry-on compliance for most airlines around the world. Truth be told, there's gonna be some airlines that might slip through the cracks, and the 30 liter won't count as a personal item on all flights. But for carry-on standards, you should be good to go. And that kind of works with the next question because JB7 is asking, in your opinion, can you do a week-long trip with the 36 liter? Absolutely. Now, all this is gonna depend on how you pack, right? And how much gear you wanna bring and what the temperature is of where you're going. There's a lot of factors. Honestly, I did a 1-month trip on the Fyro T22, unexpanded. That means a 22 liter bag for 30 days. That's why we say the 36 liter is ideal for a week-long trip. And the 30 liter is great for a weekend trip, or for me, like indefinite travel. And if you're interested in hearing my personal packing system, let me know in the comments below. We've been debating doing a video on this for a while. If we get enough demand, I'll definitely do it. Siege98 is asking if we have plans to launch the Levo travel backpack in X-Pack. No. And there's no plans to have any X-Pack variations of this bag for a while. Actually, to be honest, I don't even know if we'll ever do it in X-Pack. I didn't know if we were ever gonna do the T22 in X-Pack, right? It just kind of depends on, what requests we're getting, how good demand is. Plus, we're just a small company, so we can't do a bunch of different fabric options right now. It pushed us to the limits, even doing 2 sizes and offering a new color. So for that reason, we're sticking with the original polycarbonate 330D Codra nylon fabric, which is honestly still my personal favorite. And also the reason why we did that is the Codra fabric is so light. X-Pack, while amazing, is a lot heavier. So we would not have been able to hit our weight goals, which like we said, the 36 liter is 2.5 pounds. There's no way we would have hit that with X-Pack. But as always, you guys really run the show here. So if we get enough X-Pack demands, we'll totally launch with some at some point, but it's gonna be a little ways down the line. Now, I also got some great questions via email. I'm gonna answer a few of them now. One asking if we're launching this with the Sling and if it's gonna launch on Kickstarter. And the answer to that is no And yes, as to where we're not launching this on Kickstarter, we're gonna be doing a pre-order in a few weeks' time, and then with the goal of getting the bag on your front door, on your back to travel with before Christmas. That's the goal. Things are gonna be a little tight with holiday shipping, but we're gonna do our absolute best to make that happen. And then yes, we're totally gonna be launching the travel backpack with the Sling. And these two bags, they go together like tacos and tequila. I'm telling you, I've been testing them. You got the travel bag in the back, the Sling in the front, 1.5 travel, like taking to the next level. And with the pre-order, we're absolutely going to, as always, give email subscribers first dibs. And on top of getting first access, we also plan to give you guys a tasty little discount as well. So if you're not signed up yet, be sure to sign up to the newsletter. First link in the description. That's just where you get the most and the best behind the scenes look as to what's happening with Fyro and access to these early deals. All right, guys, there's literally a typhoon coming to Hong Kong right now, so Tav and I gotta run. Hope you enjoyed this breakdown though. If there's any questions that you have that we didn't answer, let me know in the comments below. And if you're still not quite sold on whether or not you should sign up to the Fyro Insider newsletter, just go ahead and watch this video here where I'll kind of take you a bit more behind the scenes as to what you're getting and why you should sign up. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Aaron, this is Fyro, and we'll catch you next time.